Design is not hard. Your lack of understanding the principles of design is what mostly affects the success of your design. Tunji from Caesar Graphics. In this tutorial, I'm going to be recreating a design I received from a designer during the week using the principles of design to create my version of the artwork. I'm sure you're going to learn from this tutorial, so let's start. All right, so this is the artwork we're going to be designing, and I'm going to show you guys my tips on how I achieve successful design. Before I create the frame for this project, I need you guys to start checking this before working on any project. You see, whenever you're using illustration in your project and you're planning to make the illustration this bold, and you know you have too many information in the project, all right, box frame like this is not going to work for the project. All right, remember the use of white space is very important when working on design projects, and contrast cannot really work well if there's no room for white space. White space is what really projects contrast well. So because of this, I'm going to use the social media portrait frame for the project. All right, then I'm going to hit the create button. Good. Then I'm a fan of starting with my background, all right, because for your background to do what it's supposed to do, there should be some pattern or some effect on it to project whatever you place on the foreground. So because of this, I'm going to drag and drop this paper image and in the project like that and make this big. Let's just make this now. This is not the only solution to making project like this look successful. There are several ways you can make your project look successful. Okay, this is just one of the the options. All right, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this image of data charts that I copied from the internet. So I'm going to drag that and drop here. So I'll make that a bit bigger. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make my background pop. So whatever I place on the foreground will do what it's supposed to do. So I'll change my blend mode here to multiply because I don't want to have that white fill on the image. But there's a problem here, and that's another thing I want you guys to also watch out whenever you're creating your background. Check if there's anything you notice that is not necessary on your image, because whatever is not necessary on your image is going to take away from your project if you don't get rid of them. And I'm saying this here now because if you look at my chart here, you see we have some figures there. So we need to find a way to take away those figures. So what I'm going to do is to right click and open this on the new tab here. Right, so I'm going to right click and select edit content, and Photoshop is going to open this in a new document for me. So I'm going to use the spot healing tool here to get rid of the figures. All right, just only the figures. So I'm going to hit Ctrl S and hit the OK button to save the changes, all right, that I made to the image, and I'll go back to the project. Sorry, that's not the project. This is the project here. All right, so if I zoom out now, yeah, this is what we have. Well, as it is right now, the paper texture is too strong, right? It's too visible, and that also can affect the visibility of whatever I place on I placed in the project. So I'm going to turn the opacity down a bit like that, right? All right, so this should go down a bit like that, and this is better. Then the next thing we're going to do is to drag and drop the image of our character. So I'm going to drag that and drop here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to drag and drop the logo from the brand. So I'll right click on the logo and I'll drag and drop this here. Now watch what I'm going to do here. Now if you look at if you look at the original design, you notice it looks as if we have too many colors in the project, and the reason why there's too many color in the project is because the designer did not really pay attention to the color on the brand logo. All right, so the color on the brand logo is enough for you to achieve this project. There's only for you using any other color. So what I'm going to do is to stick to the color we have on the brand logo. So I'm going to go to the project now, and I'm going to apply this color that I have here on the outfit of the character. So I'm going to move this out a bit, and I'm going to zoom in, select the pen tool, and sorry, this should be no, sorry, this should be behind this. So I'm going to quickly crop this out with the pen tool. So this is also part of what you must do as a designer if you really want your project to look nice. And hit Control and Enter to convert that to a marquee. I'll delete this, and I'm going to add hue saturation and say I only want this to affect the layer of my subject here. And I'm going to zoom in again because we need to crop out the hand. So I'll change my option here to parts, and I'm going to crop the hand. If you're watching this tutorial and you do this, please kindly drop a message and let me know my paying attention to details family. All right, so I'm going to hit Control and Enter. I'm going to apply the foreground color to the layer mask by holding on Alt and Backspace. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm, taking out the hue saturation from part of the image. So if I hit Control D to take away the marquee and I change, let's say, for example, this, you see I'm only affecting the outfit, but I'm also affecting the part where I've not cropped. So I'm going to do the same thing now by whatever you're asked to work on now, all right, design project, all right. One of the things that will make clients not say I can do better than this is when they see you do all this drama. Most clients don't know this, but when you download image like they always do, they download image and go straight to Canva and then apply the image to the project. You're not different. It means you're not different from them. All right, so I'm going to apply my foreground again to the layer mask of the hue by holding on Alt and Backspace. Then I'm going to use Ctrl D to take this out. Now, remember, our focus is this color here. So I'll go to the hue saturation thumbnail here and play with the hue. So I'm going to move this route. I'm going to play with the hue till I get to this color that I have here. So I'm going to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. I think this is it. Then I'm going to also increase the saturation and increase, no, we need to play with the lightness, because if we play with the lightness, it's going to make the outfit faded. So what we're going to do is to use levels. All right. And I'm going to hold on Alt and duplicate the layer mask from the hue saturation and apply it to the levels. So I'll do that now. I'm holding on Alt on my keyboard here, and I'm going to drag and drop on the layer mask here to make a copy of that. So I'm going to select the thumbnail of the levels and make this brighter like that. All right. Yeah. This is better. Please do not make it too bright, because making it too bright is going to make the outfit look too faded. All right, beautiful. So then I'm going to let's just move this down here for now. All right, good. Then let's start putting our content. Let's make this a bit smaller. So what's going to shape our layout here is this space that we have around our character. All right, I'm talking now this shape here. So we're going to follow this path. All right, and that's one thing I want you guys to start doing whenever you're working on design project. All right, the shape of your character or illustration is what should shape your layout. All right, so I'm going to delete this. All right, and I'm going to go to my notepad here and copy the bold information, and I'm going to just put this in a group. So I hit Ctrl G and put it in a group. And another thing I think I still need to do here is my character's face here is looking too dark. So what I'll do is I'm gonna activate curve. I select the clip icon and hold on Alt still make the same move, duplicate the mask from the hue saturation, apply to the top. And now I'm going to hit Ctrl I. All right. So I'm going to reverse the mask there, and I'm going to move this up a bit. So why I decided to reverse the mask is because I don't want the curve to affect the outfit. All right. I only want this to touch the face. And also I don't want it on the hand because the hand now is looking too faded. So I'm going to select the brush tool and increase my brush size with the square bracket and make sure my foreground here is set to black. And I'm going to take this out from the hand. Now zoom out. See, we have a character looking pop. All right. So let's put a title now. Let's just call it dude. Right. So I'm going to select the type tool and paste. Yeah, so this is the part where I noticed so many designers always have it with the part of picking the right character. This project is talking about data analyst. All right, there's a particular character that comes up whenever your computer is processing a data. I'm going to drag and drop my browser here. All right, and I'll type Google. Okay, I want you guys to see how to pick the right character. So I'm going to hit the Google image here. I hope somebody's having fun. So I'm going to type data. Let me just say data fonts. All right, yeah, that's it right there. So now we have options of characters that we can use to illustrate data with type in our project here. Now, but this is where your creativity now comes in. There are some character you're not supposed to use in your project. Remember, as a designer, when you're working on design project, your job is to focus on making the content, the information in the project easy for your viewers to see. All right. And that's why when you're making this move, you don't just say, okay, because you've tried this, and then the next thing you do is just, go to your computer and just use any character that looks similar to what Google gave you. No. This character we have here, I can't use it. I can't use this in the project because this is looking too robot-like, and it's not gonna help. So to make this short, I'm gonna use this character here because this is easy to see. I'm sure you're learning from this tutorial. Now, I need you to do something for me, guys. We have a foundation where we are working on starting a program for young folks who can afford to go to design schools. So we need you to support us where touching the lives of these people is concerned. Your donation is very, very important. So we need you to support us with your donation. You can use the account details on the screen to send your donation. If you're outside Nigeria, simply make use of the seller link below the account details on the screen. All right, so let's continue this tutorial. What I'm going to do now is to go to my computer and look for a character that is similar to this character that we have here. So I'll go back to Photoshop. All right, and I'm going to first off, because of visibility's sake, I'm going to change my character here to sentence case or title case. Excuse me. I'm going to make it title case because the type of character I want to use, it's going to be a bit difficult for people to see when everything is made all cap. And that's another thing you all need to know. There's some character that won't really come out nice, or there are some characters, that will be difficult for the viewers to see when you make them all cap. So I have this character that I already, saved here on my computer. It's called the Federal Mono. All right, so this is it here. So this character is closer to the character that we received from Google. All right, so I'm going to close the space between the letters. Now, guys, if you turn on your computer, most especially those of you that use workstation, you find out that when your system is booted, notice characters like these are what appear on your screen. All right, so and that's why this character is suitable for this project. Okay, so I'm going to position this here like so, and I'm going to copy the next information and I'm going to paste that here. All right, now this character is suitable for just title. all right, is not really okay for body copy. And the reason why it's not okay for body copy is because of the space we have between the words. If you look at the become here, you'll notice there's this huge space between the become and the letter A. And this made this character not suitable for body copy. All right. And that's what's going to make us change the character. All right. So I'm going to change this to, let's use Gotham. All right. Yeah, we can use Gotham here. So I use Gotham. I'm going to make this lights. So let's use, let's just use book. All right. And we want to make certified bold. All right. And the reason why I'm making certified bold is because certified is something I'm sure that everybody who love learning is always after. All right. All right, then we now have the other information, which is what you will learn. And this is going to serve as the second level of hierarchy in the project. All right, because after playing with the contrast, the next thing you need to do is to now see, okay, this is what's going to be my next focus in the project. All right, you're working this way is what will help your project look interesting to the eye. You know, making your contrasts bold or making it different from every information in the project, and then making your next level of hierarchy in the project do its thing. All right, so I'm going to hit Ctrl J, and I'm going to make a copy of this and paste this here. I notice this character here is narrow, and I still want to continue with that narrow, style of character in the project, which is also part of how, you make unity happen when working on design project. So I'm going to move this up a bit. Okay. And see, guys, I want you guys to there's something I want you guys to pay attention to. You'll notice every move I make in my project, there's always a reason for it. You don't make any move without any reason when working on design project. Please, it's very important. All right. So right now I noticed that now this is supposed to be the secondary title. All right, it's supposed to be the secondary title, so I'm going to float it here. All right, so I'm still going to use the same character, which is Gotham. Part of how you can make your project look interesting is when you use the super font family, and that's what I'm doing here now. So because I know that this information here, I really want to make it visible, and I don't want it to take too much space in the project, I'm going to use the condensed style of Gotham here. So I have this condensed, all right, style of Gotham. Now notice I'm still using the same font in the project, and what really made the contrast here more stronger on the title part is the fact that we use another character on the title, and this really made the project look so interesting to the eye. All right, good. So I'm going to make this align to this. Okay, yeah, this should align. Now you notice we're still going with that flow that I shared with you guys, that your character is what shaped the layout. I'm still going with this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep showing you guys this till the end of this training. Okay, so this should move down a bit, right? And let's see if I use the light. No, the light is too off. Yeah, this is better, and this should move down a bit. All right, because I'm trying to help make my proximity balance here. All right, proximity, which is the grouping of the element in your project, not giving room for white space, which is what I noticed this designer did here. Everything is too close to each other, and that's a sign that your project lacks proximity. So I'm trying to give room for proximity here so as to make my readers find it easy to access the information that I have in the project. So I'm going to put this in a group, and I'm going to call this proximity 2. All right, so I'll call it prox 2. Okay, good. Space is very important. So the arranging everything here, arranging all the information here is going to make the project, the content in the project difficult for people to see. One of the ways you can maintain space and make every information in your project visible is to arrange your content in columns. And that's what I'm about to do here now. So I'm going to draw a shape here. All right. Draw a shape here like that. And I'm going to make this shape color the same color that we have on the logo. All right. And this should be above this. So we don't want stroke on it. Right. We don't want stroke on it. And this should come here like that. All right. Then so I'm planning to place two different information here. So what I'm going to do to create space or to differentiate these two information is to make a copy of the shape, and I'm going to activate free transform with the shortcut, which is Ctrl T, and this should move in here. And this particular shape here, I'm going to make the color on this shape come from the logo here. So I'm going to hit the OK button. And another reason why I love this, the color in this project here, is because, you know, the color we have on the logo are colors that work well together. And this is also going to help the making this project look, you know, interesting to the eye. All right, then let's start placing the information that we plan to put there. So what I'll do is I'm going to start with time I'm going to make this close, and they should move in here. Okay. I think my tracking here is too much. It's not giving room for my content to be visible. Yeah, I think this is nice. All right, so let's now go to the original design and get the icons. So right click and drag and drop here, and they should come here, the grade free transform, and make this bigger, and I'll change the color of this to this color we have here. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, the dates, right? So copy, I'll make a copy of this. It's Control J, right? And then move this out. Okay, and move this here. Now you see the power of white space. So now, because we have this white space here now, it's easier for me to put any information here. No matter how small I make it, it will still draw attention. And that's the work of white space. So your white space should be used as a trap. All right, it should be used as a trap to make small size elements draw attention. So I'm going to copy this down, and I'm still going to hit Control J and move this here. I'm going to create a layer and call this row. So now let's add drama with the title. So I'm going to select the move tool, right click, select the data analyst text here. I already created a new layer, and I'm going to select the brush tool and sample a color from the logo. And I'm gonna make my brush size bigger with the square bracket. I'm supposed to be on the soft round brush. So I'm gonna set a soft round brush here, and I'm gonna make my brush a bit bigger and apply my brush like that. I'm gonna hold on Alt and place my mouse in between the glow layer and the title, and I'm gonna wait till I see the black arrow with the white box and click to clip the glow inside the title. So I'm going to hit Ctrl T to activate free transform and make this bigger. So I'm going to make this, this big. All right, let's just make the title a bit bigger. So I'm going to activate the free transform and make this bigger. Well, let's keep it like that and move this down a bit. So this is the final project. So this is the after, and this is the before. All right, after. Okay, I need to zoom in so you guys can see the difference. So after and before. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna stop here. I'm sure you learned from this tutorial, and I'm sure you can see how the principles of design can make your design project look successful. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button, and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, and if there's anything you want to share with me, drop it in the comment section of this video. I'll do my best to reply you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.